at Thermal Station, and they have been taking some fights up against Applejacks, who have been in the area as well. So we'll see how Applejacks decide to try and play this one out in the second half. They've had, a decent amount of time to formulate a game plan around playing around cooler here.
We also have to give credit to Lucas last game too, because I'm beginning to wonder what would Rat Boy Ronnie do in that situation. Would Rat Boy Ronnie have sucked the res in the middle of the open against both of his teammates, or would he have just ratted it out like Ronnie always does? I don't know. That's a good question. We'll have to see when NPL gets to the end zone like that. But seriously, credit to Lucas for sticking that res and having the reaction time to go and do that. That's not easy to do, even though we're saying that they did get lucky. There is a little bit of luck, but a lot of that comes down to the amount of timing and kind of creating your own luck. So really good job there. As Team Cooler is getting some pretty free loot over towards Thermal, and it looks like it's not going to pull over here. So if we could switch on someone that got a scan or some 50-50s, that could give us a little bit more idea of what's going on, because these guys are just running around hoping for some good armor, because Triple White's not looking too good.
Yeah, there we go. Joining on board with Team Intel, who are, of course, taking this fight up against Cheez It. And, oh, no, Metro. He got stuck with the Arc Star. Joey Blackout taking him out. Six is going to try and control the corridors with those barrels, but he's got no more left. We'll swap off onto that triple take. He's basically playing double shotgun here, but one of them is a Mozambique. If he has the hammer point, maybe there's a fighting chance here, but Six is now on the roof, controlling the roof building for the time being, along with Panders, but this is already difficult. Navi versus NPL, Strafe with two, but Ronnie takes him off. It's going to be down to a 1v1 now, as Ronnie tries to heal up throughout all of this, and the third party might already be coming here from Team Rockstar. We'll see. Intel, you get one kill onto Prodigy Aces, evening that one out, but Joey Blackout. Now it's up to Rakanishu in the 1v1 up against Panders. Don't know what HP Panders is at. He's hit for flesh here, but Rakanishu takes a big shot. They've got the Q as well to force him off the door, and he can take the roof if he wants to as well. Has the armor swap onto White as Six does get finished off. That means it's going to be an armor swap for Rakanishu. How much ammo does he have left in that Spitfire now, as Panders picks up that charge rifle, tries to secure the thirst at least for himself before going down. For the time being, it's still going to be this 1v1. Panders taking away from that gas damage to back away as Joey Blackout gets his revenge from the grave right now. Pander's going to heal up once again as Rakanishu will start sticking that res on to Prodigy Aces, but still, Panders has the HP advantage, goes for the instant peek, takes the re-knock onto Prodigy Aces, and now Rakanishu caught in a corner. He just needs to hit one more shot. The hip fire not quite connecting. Finally, on like the 7th bullet, Panders will take him out, and Intel survive again, and it's a true 50-50. 4 games, it's 2-2 between Intel and Cheez It.
I can't believe Rakanishu didn't have an opportunity to go and try to get some healing or maybe an armor swap right there throughout all of that. Instead, he's going to go for the res. Not quite sure what that was. Intel is going to be able to get the res over here. Nice job by Panders. 2 very skilled players going at it in 1v1. That was fun to watch. And these guys are absolutely psycho. The fact that they just keep briefing each other and fighting over towards Lava City makes me wonder if they are definitely fighting over this when it comes to the real tournaments too. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't put it past them, because where else are you going to go if this is the spot that you want to actually fight at? So there's some nice blue armor there for whoever wants to call dibs on that one. Probably whoever did. I would say whoever did the most damage during that fight should get that blue armor. But here's the zone that we have, and they got to get back into this because TSM is coming to collapse quickly. This is a Lava City zone. We haven't seen one of these in a while. There's going to be a lot of teams in this end zone.
We're already familiar with excuse me. I defaulted to Ratty, by the way. Ronnie having to rat this one out, and he's not going to be able to pick up the banners. Let's go ahead and swap around. As there we go. We have 303 controlling the choke. This is just north of Lava City, and they were looking to try and find the timing. It looks like coming out from Geyser to push onto Lava City res. Unfortunately, not able to create the distance. The armor situation also not great for 303, as Bambino and Pyrodice are sitting on the white armors. Applejacks in a fight up against Sentinels as well. Dupe going down. It's gonna be Retsy to pick that one up, as it looks like it's just gonna be some shoulder peeking out from either side. Here's the fight now over in the tunnel as Dupe is bleeding out. Aves will be the next one to fall as well. It's all up to Roll. There's a port back, but now from behind, he's got to be careful. He does scan it up, and as he slides in, hits for the 40 with the triple take, and he tries to go after that Bloodhound. He does have the EVA 8 out, but these aren't the weapons you really want to try and take a fight where you're completely outnumbered. Senox will be able to finish him off. They've got the Beast of the Hunt to continue to scan, try and stop this third-party push. They're coming pretty fast, though. 2 members already pushed on up. So you join back on board with 303, playing footsies with whatever squad this is. It might be Team Intel on the other side.
I think it's CSM. We should find out what team that is. We should go to the map and click whatever team that is and find out, because I saw when we pulled up the map that it was TSM, and based on the character frames that I'm seeing, very well could be.
Yeah, it is.
So this is, yeah. So then we have Pop-Tarts coming in through the choke as well. So they're sharing it with TSM. So that's awesome. Now you can see the other team that's coming up over towards the side. Pop-Tarts is going to elect to rotate in a completely different way. And now TSM is going to possibly get aggressive onto this building. CLG does find themselves in a fight with Team Rockstar over towards the side. Sentinel still holding over towards here, which is another good opportunity to get some kills. But it looks like they're interested in fighting this one, as they should be. Scan coming up in about 7 seconds for Senox, and they'll send it once this happens.
Yeah, accidentally popping that barrel instead of clearing it now is CLG finding another kill. And Zera Tricky will go down to Team Pringles as well. Senox going for the peak, but Retzi has been cracked, and so they do back off, as they need to go for the full reset here. Senox forced the bat as well, as they do have the armor swaps to work off of as well, backing away, getting up some position. Don't know exactly what Retzi did pick up throughout all of that. Rockstar did get finished off, or at least Crummy did, as now here comes a first nade from Retzi. They want to start making their advance, but once again, this team has a beat on them and are able to really hold this angle well. But Retzi's going to go ahead and full send that swinging wide. You have the team, Blueberry Smalls, Lonely Fans, swings right on top of them, but they're not able to bubble fight with the best of them, as Crust and company will be able to finish them off. Sentinels take this, but it's going to be Team Pop-Tarts now coming in for the third party. Crust is the first one down. Retzi has his port, he has his Q to work with, and Senox is already back there. And as he's going to have to run into Lava City, there's going to be other teams involved as well. Pop-Tarts ultimately pick up this loot here for themselves, and only the 1 kill throughout all of that. We're already down to 16 squads, 42 players remaining, as the first ring is about to finish closing.
Looks like we have more fighting happening too. Hakulo gets the knock onto Stunny. Looks like Rice Krispie Treats in a little bit of a skirmish. Let's see if we can hop onto that one. It looks like Sentinels does get knocked as well by Team Intel, and there it is, Casper and Bird trying to figure out exactly where these players are going to be. There goes the bubble, but it's not for the res. It's just a fight. That's a knock onto Muffins. Where is Hakulo, though? Because we know that he's still alive, getting some damage in. It looks like he is nowhere to be found. Maybe on the stairs over towards the top-hand side. Metro gets the finish onto Sentinels as well. That's going to be the last player on that team, too. So Panders continuing to have themselves a pretty good game on the Intel side, as Hakulo is the lone rat over here and barely gets this med kit off into the zone and the battery as well. So he'll be on that Tapcot rat cam for a little bit as we see what the rest of these teams are doing too. This is a Lava City zone, so Hakulo is going to have a tough time getting there.
Yeah, he has an opportunity to try and go for that banner, but it all depends on how many heals he has, of course, as well. Pop-Tart's still holding inside this tunnel for the time being. Don't know who might have yoinked this spot now. We did see, of course, Sentinels going down toward to Intel when they try to make their way into Lava City, and Pop-Tarts don't like pushing themselves into the funnel. They can back away. They have a replicator dropping as well, so if they need more loot, they can try and craft some up. But for the time being, they're just going to continue to play over here at Sorting Factory instead. The pings do go down onto that circle building here. CLG still prowling around Frag West. And so they're just camping these banners for as long as possible. Here's Team Pringles, though. They are set up in Fragment East. And so there might be an opportunity for these two teams to fight, and in a relatively isolated fight.
Oh, it's nice when you find a random gold death box there with a Mastiff inside of it too. So wonder what his favorite flavor of Pringles are. Sour cream and onion, pretty top notch. I think there's a lot of good flavors, but that's one of the ones that are kind of up there as we see what CLG is doing, and they're going to finish off Team Liquid into the zone. This is why you kind of play the edge. You're looking for weak moments out here. You're looking for players that you can kind of pick apart and do exactly what CLG just did. So they know the rules. When you play edge, you really, really do play edge. And if you want to take fights, you want to go and make sure that you're completely healthy for it. So like you're saying, Jamerson, hitting the replicator, making sure that they have everything that they need to, and there's no rush to get in, still slowly ticking. And you have so many different ways that you could rotate here because all the teams definitely start to make their way towards chokes and Lava City. You don't anticipate anybody sitting in these buildings.
Yeah, it's going to be full heal coming out from Naughty, but they have a general idea that a team is still in the area. You see, Naughty was patient with the scan as well, not throwing that out because if you miss it, teams can see it, and that'll be a visual cue for your location. So he holds on to that. He's going to be able to pick up the beacon for us as well. So if we can bring up the map, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, and then we'll see exactly where inside Lava City this one will go, but we switched on over to Team Liquid, so we can't see exactly where in Lava City it would be. If we switch back over to CLG, we'll be able to find that one, and they're going to be able to decide how they want to play this too. So it's going to be in the buildings in Lava City, which I think that there's probably about 2 or 3 endings over there. The most popular one is probably near the train tracks. There's 2 endings that are on the separate sides of the train tracks. The one inside of the cart is absolutely brutal, and if it's that one is a lot of fun to watch. Caustic really thrives in that type of vicinity too, and so does Gibraltar. But Third Impact looks like they're trying to get out of here. That's going to be a portal down for Zeke. Ball on G now is trying to get back to safety here. The res does come through. Not a gold backpack though, so it's up to Jazz to pop that Beast of the Hunt, hit these scans as well. That should scare off these players temporarily as a flank comes in from CLG. Great spray from Zach Mazer onto one of the Pringles players, and he's going to go down.
Yeah, and so now they have the angle to try and shoot that team. Team was able to get the res, but they will secure the thirst at the very least here. And fortunate for them that Pringles and Third Impact got into this fight. CLG were able to rotate through that choke for free, no resistance whatsoever. But again, they're now dropping down to the low ground. This is a dangerous spot to be in as the scan comes out. And now they know as Pop-Tarts find themselves in a fight. Impulse is the first one to go down. Applejacks, excuse me, not Applejacks, right on top of them. It's going to be Season as Kenny gets that first knock onto Impulse. And it's all down to Stomps. And fortunately for him, he's just not able to win out with the numbers here as Season will win this one. They don't lose anybody, and so that stops the third party. They were posturing to try and come and challenge them, but you saw the damage coming out, the repeaks coming out from them as well. Not able to connect quite yet. It is going to be Kenny. It's going to be Team Liquid coming in. The knock onto Rambo. That was the triple take, along with Team Intel with the finish off. It's Team Intel who ultimately I think we're the ones that were maybe pushing close, or was it Team Liquid? It's hard to tell right now, though. Double gold armors for Team Liquid here as Flanker still sitting on the blue, surprisingly enough, but they're in a spot where they're trying to spot out anyone that might be rotating in late, so they have to worry. CLG could be coming in, maybe the rest of Pringles, maybe the rest of the rest of Third Impact. Don't know if they got finished off. We're down to 12 squads. That's a lot of teams missing in this lobby right now.
Random damage goes in as Third Impact is alive, but it would be fun to see how Hodsick utilizes the Sentinel. Very underrated gun, I would say. Hodsick and Bowser are the only 2 players that I see actually try to utilize that gun in scrims and tournaments as Third Impact now starts to make the rotation. This is very common where you try to push over towards that way. Instead, they're going to try to pick on this team getting the res over towards the side, pick up some more kill points, and try to get some more loot. But it's going to be tough because now they're going to have to get this kill and then make their way uphill over towards where this zone is going to be. And like we were talking about, this is going to continue to pull in towards the actual city of Lava City. It looks more like it's going to be an eggshell ending. Yeah,
we should go back to Team Third Impact and Pringles there as Season are able to get the knock onto Fury. That was the team that went for the res, and it's unfortunate. You saw Third Impact. They saw the kill points on the board for them. They just were not able to pounce fast enough, but here's the Beast of the Hunt. They are going to hound them down, but the defensive bombardment slowing down just a little bit here. As Balon G waiting for the rest of his squad to try and push up together, but he does get cracked, slowing down this push from Third Impact. Arcstar's coming down on them, Thermite's up, and they have to back away. This team is defending like hell right now with the ring closing in. This is going to be a full grief on as they push up. It's going to be Third Impact just finishing off Team Season, and they have to move in quickly with the ring here, and so this is going to be a blind rotate. Don't know if Jazz has another scan for them. He might very well, and he's going to need it as they are getting shot at through the fences. Pringle's still alive here. Zaculo somehow alive throughout all of this. He's riding this one out. He gets the knock onto them. That's going to be a kill point for Haculo, and he's been riding this out since what, 5 minutes ago, 6 minutes ago.
Zone is closing, so you got to move right now if your Team Pringles, as Intel has been the team, as we were wondering, to go and take the choke after they went and picked up these kills on the third party on the Sentinels side. And we talk about how Caustic thrives in here. It's no surprise that that's what Six is planning on doing with these 50 million armor swaps that they have as Team Liquid's in the skirmishes over towards the outside. Caustic does have his bubble if he wants to go and use that one. Could pop some cells fairly quickly too. And there he does. He gets into a little crevice where the bubble is fairly useful and they can't really shoot down. And now a nice angle comes through as Hal gets involved too. This is going to be 303 getting into a fight with Third Impact, and TSM's there too. Liquid still trying to figure out exactly where these players are. If Flanker had a scan, that would help them out big time, but looks like they're just posturing around, and there it is. You can see the player outlines right now. Their team's trying to make their way up the rock.
Oh boy, they are trying to full send it onto them, but fortunate. Oh, Flanker has been caught out. Naughty has dropped down onto them. CLG get the first kill here as 303 are fighting off against TSM, and Reps will be able to finish that one off. They need to recover Hal here as the third party comes on top of them. Liquid starting to pop that res, but it does get canceled as Hostic does get pushed throughout that bubble. It's going to be TI coming in to try and finish off TSM. Once again, this fight taking place over and over again. Ziki gets the knock on 2 Reps here, and so it's all up to Snipe down as a Thirst comes out onto Imperial Hal. Jazz doesn't have the armor swap for himself. He's on that red Evo, now pulling down over to the the blue Evo for himself as Snipe down gets the knock onto Ziki along with Balon G. It's going to be the final melee for Jazz to finish him off, and TI barely survived throughout all of that. And it's unfortunate for them as well because now Jazz is stuck on the blue armor because of the over-aggression on that. CLG, though, have this angle set up and they have to move in, but it looks like they're just going to go ahead and play for the points as we swap off onto E-Boy Ronnie for whatever reason.
To rat it out for the Tomcat Rat Cam, Ronnie.
Yeah, there's a fight going on. Let's go ahead and pop off the fight. Thank you so much. As Third Impact now turning the fight on to CLG. It's Ziki with almost no HP. Jazz has been dropped down low, but he does get one more knock onto Vaxlon. And now it's just one final member remaining here as Naughty with the EVA 8 will be able to finish this off, but not in time. 20 seconds left to go as the ring is closing, and he has to abandon his teammates.
Yeah, he's dead, actually. There's no way he's going to be able to make it up over there, and you get stuck down here all the time, actually, and that's just what ends up happening in these type of zones. And yeah, now you're dead because you guys fought for so long over there. So unfortunate, slow but sure death to the zone coming in for the rest of CLG. But hey, they went out in style with a couple of kills along the way. There's a play coming in from Intel. This is very common to do with a Wraith portal down towards the bottom of the building, but instead it's going to happen with the bubble, with the Horizon Q as well. And now they take the opposite roof, which is not easy to do, and now they're in a good position too. Actually, this is cooler too. So there's 2 to 3 teams coexisting just between these 2 buildings as well, and then one more team around, and I think that's just Ronnie as a rat.
Yeah. So with Noko and his squad up top, it's going to be very difficult here. Again, when it does come down to Lava City with all these buildings, it's going to slow down quite a fair amount. Tanner is just 90 damage away from getting his purple Evo. Metro is 20 away from getting his red Evo throughout all of this. But Intel, you know, they were able to win their 50-50, and now they are benefiting from it. Here it is, the Tomcat Ratcat coming out at a proper time now, instead of in the middle of a fight, as things have slowed down. 45 seconds before the ring starts closing.
Yeah, let's see if Ronnie can win this one out. We were just actually talking about this for Team Pop-Tarts and what would Ronnie do. And Ronnie does pick the right times to rat. That's why we always talk about it. He bails on the fights when the third parties come, and that's one of the keys. But it's also key for the rest of your team to call out when that actual third party does happen. So we'll start to scroll through and find out exactly what compositions and utility everybody's running. It's going to be cooler. Obviously, Yuki, Nasky, and Serdell. It's been Yuki on this Horizon the entire time. That's going to be a pretty explosive ending if it happens. But I want to see how Noko and his team do, because this is the furthest we've seen them get so far. Intel's also having another great game too. So we'll see if the high ground works out or if it's going to be the power of the Caustic here. The only full teams that have Caustic is the team on the low ground, which is Team Intel, and that could be a big deal.
Yeah, roof control is going to be important, of course. You also have that Horizon to deal with. Maybe if a defensive bombardment comes down, you can just pop that gravity lift and avoid all the damage on the ground if you want to conserve on the bubble and hold that for a later fight right now. But again, it's so many buildings involved in this fight. Nasky does ultimately find Ronnie, so MPL will go down in 4th place.
Yeah, poor Ronnie couldn't survive to the final fight. Instead, he's going to be taken down. Right as round number 6 is going to close, but look at the aggressive play coming in from Team Noko Puffs here. This is something that you love to see. This is the confidence that's going to win you the game, making sure that once you have the roof, you're spread out all over the place. The only thing that Cooler could do is obviously a crazy play from Yuki to go and try to take this high ground away, but they don't have the Bloodhound scans to go and look for that opportunity. So right now, they understand the situation. They can see 9 up in that top right. That's 3 on 3 on 3, obviously. We get the luxury of being able to see these player outlines and see exactly how many players there are and exactly where they are. But no matter what the situation here, we've seen this a million times where you don't want to be the first team to fight unless you're going to have some miraculous ending like Team Pop Darts.
Yeah, Dell still has the portal to work with as well, and they're fairly close to the center of the zone. But that squad to their north, Team Intel, I believe, are the ones that are just a little bit close as well. No nades, unfortunately, it looks like. Otherwise, we'll probably be checking some damage with that, trying to toss it in through the windows. So it looks like with this caustic, Team Intel might be able to finish it off. We'll see what gets forced out first. A lot of zone control coming out from Six, as he has a lot of the corridors and doors locked down with those barrels currently. And if he needs to mid-fight, he can pick these up, the ones that are close to him, to throw them in as well. He's got one in the back pocket. He has a Nox Gas grenade. Team Intel have the full Wombo combo. It's all about finding the right time to throw it down.
Yeah, it's going to be a brutal, brutal, slow closing of this zone here, too. And now Six is doing the right thing, getting aggressive, just popping his barrels all over the place. Into the window is an extreme nuisance. And the timing of this grenade is so crucial, but also this initial damage is big, too. That's why he's just trying to do everything he can through this window. He's not going to end up chucking his Nox Gas grenade in there. That would be an absolute grief, but you want to save it as long as possible. Any type of damage is huge, and Panders realizes that he backs down. He's not going to end up hitting a battery. He's just hitting cells. So anytime you could back someone off the fight, the key is not taking damage exactly when the ring is going to close to your back. So they'll sit there and poke back and forth, but eventually everyone's going to start planning how they use their utility, including that Wraith.
Yeah, that was the last ditch port coming out from Cooler, as it doesn't really go far. It just goes to the outside of the building, and they're trying to play this one out. Might buy them enough time, forcing Noko squad to go down first. Here comes the black hole and lands right on top of Six, and Six is the one that has the Nox Gas grenade. He might actually fall before he can even use it here, as they are throwing in everything. Six was not able to use that Nox Gas grenade. Panders takes the hide, is able to get the knock onto Noko's squad, but it's still the final 3 teams remaining here, as Metro now taking ring damage, takes to the skies with the gravity lift here. We'll try and heal up throughout all of this, cosplaying as a Horizon, as Noko's squad, it's Tanner up. He's gonna use that Q to try and delay for as long as possible,
Tanner,
and
the
they
legend.
take the victory.